by supporting creators on other sites and fighting against the machine. I'm just stating the reality of things. Codeine Crazy responds to Aniza with a Photoshop of her kissing the boot, which is YouTube. Aniza responds to him by saying, I don't think you realize I'm just pointing out problems in the reality of complete capitalism and monopolies. Thickums responds, alright, fair enough, but judging by the firestorm, doesn't really seem like a good time to be like, capitalism bad, you know? Aniza responds, it's always a good time to talk about and make people aware of how little control we have on platforms, and that it isn't a public space like real life. We forget it all the time, and it's dangerous. Codeine Crazy responds to Aniza by saying, the problem is that rather than actively fighting against these problems and censorship, you just turn a blind eye to it and accept it. Aniza responds, I don't accept it. I'm attempting to point out the actual problem and why it's not good to think you are protected by free speech when it comes to these private companies online. It's dangerous to think we have free anything on money-making businesses. Jose responds to Aniza by saying, well, I don't think any creator is entitled to ad revenue, but wasn't the issue at hand free speech? Aniza responds, if YouTube is a money-making business, and they are worried about ads being pulled and their perception as a brand, they are legally allowed to pull whatever they wish off their site. The thing we should be talking about is the monopoly that is YouTube, and how to fix it. Anyways, Mark responds to Aniza's missing the point tweet by saying, Ian essentially threw away everything he built in order to show support for you. But when it comes to you supporting for Ian, your response is, that's life. What? Aniza responds, I have complete support for him in what he does, but I just stated a fact that it's YouTube's right as a private company to choose what it wants on its site. It has no moral obligation. Same with OnlyFans. Fix it. Anyways, Mark responds, I didn't say I think he deserves it. I don't know why people think that. I just want people to wake up and realize that YouTube isn't a free space. It's a business, and crying freedom of speech isn't the right convo to have. It's why there's such a monopoly, and why we have let it get this bad while pretending anyone has a legal right to be on the site. Aniza then tweets out, a lot of you guys are extrapolating things I never said in my previous tweet. I said we are aware of the risks that come with the career paths we choose, and it's YouTube's right to uphold a TOS. Not that I don't support my significant other, and that I would be singing sea chanties if he got banned. MK responds to her by saying, I swear, people take everything you say out of context. Aniza then responds, it's always how it goes. I swear. Cyrus tweets out, yo, Leafy just got fucking terminated. What the fuck? Guy was a big part of my childhood. Before Yandere tweets out, Leafy left YouTube, came back, and then had his channel terminated all before Yandere Simulator finished development. Nicholas Diorio says, prediction. Leafy's channel will be reinstated in under a month. Leafy responds, you are very optimistic, man. I think YouTube is gonna keep me dead. RIP 2, cause I already finished 2 videos in new stock market series. Wavy Web Surf responds to him by saying, teach the kiddos about options. Justin Wang then replies, a generation of 12-year-olds losing their lunch money on FDs. Nick Cash tweets out, bruh, laughing my fucking ass off, showing a picture of a pentagon, a hexagon, an octagon, and Leafy is gone. Willie Macshow tweets out, in 2016, creators were constantly at war with each other, but the one unifying idea was that we policed ourselves, and if anyone's channel was removed, we would all rally behind them. Leafy donated to FUPA. We rallied behind Pewds with the Wall Street Journal. Hell, we even fought for Nazi Girl. We did this as a community because we understood that we could keep each other in check. iDubbbz corrected Leafy. H3 corrected the prank channels and CSGO Lotto scams. Grade A with the Santoro in his plagiary. Leafy tweets out, still no word from Team YouTube or YouTube creators on the suspension. If they want to keep me banned, fine. We'll miss having an outlet, but mainly been doing this for fun since coming back. Some videos were more crude than others, but personally, I don't think I was that bad. Fun website. Blatant huge double standard, but not big on going the, if I should be banned, so should them route. Cause it's pretty lame. Website is shit. Willie Maxwell quote tweets Leafy and says, I wish YouTube would name the videos. If you got fired in radio, television, or from fucking Walmart, they'd have to cite specifically what you did. This is just some lame ass shit. Storyfire tweets out, we stand by Leafy. After pouring years of hard work, creating hundreds of videos, millions of subscribers, all wiped in an instant. Little to no direct communication from the platform he was loyal to for a lifetime. You work things out. Don't just click delete. Mick Juggernuggets quote tweets this and says, 100%. There should have been a conversation between YouTube and Leafy, a compromise made. This heavy-handed approach goes beyond just nature of content, but a blatant disregard for the creators that have been loyal to this platform for years. I thought we were YouTube partners. And then the unfortunate news comes out in a Dextero article where The Verge confirmed with YouTube that Leafy's ban is permanent for violating their harassment policies. Nick Diorio tweets this out and says, YouTube has confirmed Leafy's suspension is permanent. No example was given. No reason 3 strikes weren't awarded. It's a Gundam quote tweets Nick and says, it's no longer YouTube, it's our tube. Slasher then tweets this out as well and says, YouTube PR confirmed to The Verge that Leafy's ban is permanent due to harassment. Shive responds to this with an F made up of other Fs. Kavos quote tweets him and says, no warning, no strikes on his channel. Just straight up banned. If you are celebrating this ban, you are an idiot. Hashtag free Leafy. Slasher responds to Kavos by saying, Kavos. It literally says, the termination only came after his channel amassed at least 3 violations of YouTube's harassment policy over the last 90 days. Kavos responds, Leafy never got notified of the strikes to my knowledge, and what videos caused the strikes? That is fucked. Slasher responds, he was notified he was given 2 strikes since returning in early June, and then tweeted about it. That was YouTube's warning. Kavos responds, when? I must have missed it. Slasher then links Leafy's tweet from June, and then Kavos responds by saying, these got removed? Slasher responds, did they? And then Kavos shows a tweet from Team YouTube in the same thread that Slasher linked where they say it was a mistake. Slasher responds by saying, I believe as it is written, then that he still received 3 strikes, not included those 2 which were reversed, or may have been reinstated. Kavos responds, how do you know this? YouTube confirmed they were removed? Do you not see the issue with YouTube just slamming 3 strikes down and not telling Leafy why? Someone named Julia Alexander responds to Kavos. I believe she's the person from The Verge who ended up talking to Team YouTube and writing the article. She says, hey, YouTube told me that his channel was terminated because it violated the company's harassment policy 3 times over a period of 90 days. No specific videos were identified, but they did confirm it's permanent when I asked specifically about length of ban. Scrubby quote tweets Slasher and says, this dude literally didn't scroll down under this tweet and read the YouTube response. This is the Twitch news guy, who can't even scroll down on Twitter, by the way. Laughing my ass off. Slasher responds, good work, and then posts Julia's response, to which Scrubby responds, hey man, got a girlfriend for ya. Give me a job if I can hook you up. Obviously referencing the Slasher situation where he tried to exchange a job for a date. I have a video on that if you want to check that out. Slasher then tweets out on his own timeline Julia's response and says, YouTube confirmed that Leafy violated the company's harassment policy 3 times over a period of 90 days. Nicholas Diorio responds to him by saying, no strikes on the account, YouTube claims 3 strikes, no email sent to Leafy, no specific videos named. Yeah, we all buy that explanation. Lol, good reporting. Slasher responds, so you were saying YouTube lied to The Verge on record? For what purpose exactly? Nick responds, I'm saying, applying 3 strikes simultaneously with no notice to write something down and hand The Verge. And deleting a channel out of the blue is an identical situation. Going back to the conversation between Slasher and Kavos, when Slasher responds to Kavos, questioning if they reversed Leafy's strike, Tommy C responds to him by saying, this is me and others helping Leafy get his video back. Check the date, June 5th. You have to work on your gotchas, bro. He then shows proof. Slasher responds to him by saying, I didn't see that. Wasn't supposed to be a gotcha. Leafy's tweet is linked in the Verge article. The reporter still confirmed from YouTube's end the channel was terminated due to 3 strikes. Tommy C responds, funny how that info never got Leafy even 1 email about a strike. Ever think the people you speak might have, I don't know, have an agenda and a bias? Slasher responds, YouTube wouldn't lie on record about there being 3 strikes in the last 90 days. However, as social media platforms go, it's about what they are not saying. Could have gotten all 3 violations at once, and will not be given a specific explanation. Sound familiar? Keemstar responds to Slasher by saying, try to use your brain. YouTube is saying that he had 3 violations in the last 30 days, but he had no strikes when his channel went down. So basically, YouTube gave him 3 strikes all at once, without giving him time to change his behavior. Get it? Tommy C responds to Slasher by saying, YouTube wouldn't lie. Are you fucking nuts? Could have gotten all 3 violations at once. Yeah, that is kind of the same thing as being terminated. Slasher responds, obviously these big social media corps twist things in their favor. However, I have found that they do it through omission. It's reasonable to be mad at lack of transparency from YouTube and Twitch on specifics, but still believe the overall statement put out to be true. Repsion tweets about the news by saying, "Well, looks like we got somewhat of an answer. My position still stands. I want to know what videos violated the harassment policy. I don't watch Leafy. They should at least send an email for what video violated their rule. If people don't know what exactly the video in question is the issue, how can people improve their content to follow the guideline?" Corey Town's response to Repsion by saying, "How about instead of crying that your precious troll senpai is gone, maybe make some content that's not a boring, repetitive expose/roast battle where every drama channel covers the same trending drama? If you were not 12, YouTube is extremely dull as far as the drama community." Repsion responds to Corey by saying, "Are you daft? I don't watch Leafy is here. I almost know nothing about his content outside of his older stuff. I only know he made a bunch of Pokimane videos recently. I recommend you check my movie reviews if everything is so boring. Nobody forces you to watch content, you turd." About 20 hours after Leafy made his tweet saying he had no word from YouTube yet, Team YouTube finally responded to him on Twitter by saying, "Confirming your channel was suspended following repeated violations of our harassment policies. Note, we updated our harassment policy back in December 2019. We sent an email Friday at the time of the suspension. We'll DM you with more info." Leafy quote tweets them and says, "She ain't gonna fuck you, bro." KXA responds to Leafy by saying, "They did you dirty, bro. What's the plan now?" Leafy responds, "Twitch and Twitter videos uploaded on a few different places, and I'm buying a house." Keemstar responds to Team YouTube by saying, "Okay, but why did you Team YouTube give him 3 strikes at once? The whole point of the 3-strike system is to warn the creator that they need to change their behavior. You gave Leafy 3 strikes at once?" Turkey Tom tweets out, "Leafy's here ban is permanent." Leafy responds to him by saying, "Like Red Dead 1 ending, lol. Had to end eventually, I guess." Darwin responds, "Leafy, fight back, Iga. We with you." Leafy responds, "Thinking of streaming, or Spotify. Keem behind the scenes saying it marks the death of a genre/wave, or edgy content, and get the same sense." Starkish Luna responds to Leafy by saying, "Spotify? Wait, Calvin, are you saying you were gonna have your own podcast?" Leafy responds, "Not sure, but gotten offers." Kavos responds to all of this by saying, "Fuck's sake, YouTube. Why don't you just communicate with your creators? How is this even an appropriate response? First Twitch and now YouTube banning their biggest creators with no clear reason why?" Leafy then tweets out, "Hello Guinness World Records. I want my fucking award for the biggest YouTube channel banned now." Jolly2Coin responds to him by saying, "Leafy, what's your thoughts on Lion Maker?" Leafy responds, "Good guy. Hope he keeps up the good work." Leafy then goes on his Twitch page to talk more about the ban. Here is what he said.
"It's pretty shit, like, double standard on YouTube. I don't want to go too much into it. I know I said this on Twitter. I don't want to be like, you know, I got banned, so should they. But, yeah. Actually, I just take it back. Dude, PewDiePie's made like 14 videos on Alinity. H3H3's made like over 15 videos on Pokimane. All 40 minutes long. Keemstar's made a shitload of videos on Jake Paul. Bro, they're all guilty. It's fucking ridiculous. Am I saying they should get banned? No, but I am saying there's double standard. Guess I kind of went back on what I said. Whatever.
YouTube ass. Transform into a full-time streamer, bro. Lizard army will rise. Hiss in chat.
That's the plan. It's definitely like a different adjustment to make, but I've been doing YouTube for a while, so it'd be like something new. I'm not gonna lie, there is like a certain amount of like pressure,
Subway
bro. It's all
30.
live and shit.
You had such a massive audience and they just banned you. Are you taking legal action?
I don't think so, man. Maybe. If there's like a big case, but the way I see it is it's up to them what they want to ban. I think it's fucking utter bullshit, and it's a huge double
Eric
standard,
Brash
but
donated
I don't know if
$5.
I'm like willing to fight it that
what's
hard.
Your thoughts on how everyone starts talking mad shit when you get banned?
Oh, they're all pussies, bro. I understand that, like, throughout the years I've, like, created this, like, hate following, right? They're, like, there's a lot of people that dislike me, but the fact that they're talking shit after, like, my YouTube gets banned, alright, man. I think what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be, like, posting shit posts to, like, you know, Storyfire and mostly Twitter, right? And there's no ads on Twitter, but, I figured out how to do it, but there's no ads on Twitter, but I can upload like 2-minute shit posts, and even though I wouldn't be making money off the videos, I think I would just like promote like Always Lucky at the end. I don't really care that much about like a cut in the amount of money I make, but at the same time I'm not a fan of just like working for free, right? Like I think that if I'm doing something, I obviously want to make money, but I don't mind if it's like a cut in revenue. And I don't really care too much about like, you know, having some like insane viewer base. The fact that I even have a viewer base after coming back after 4 years is pretty sick to me. So yeah, I'm not like chasing the insane clout. I'm not trying to be the next Drake. I could do finance streams, but I don't know. It all depends. Might end up doing a show with like, I don't know, Keemstar or something on Spotify. I've gotten some offers from Spotify, so that's pretty sick. Kind of left in this point right now where I don't know if I want to, you know, go part-time or if I want to really go back into doing it, because man, I was like doing YouTube for fun and I was just making the videos that I wanted to make, and it's almost like, dude, it's like brutal, because right when I started to enjoy it and I kind of started getting, you know, into scheduling it around my life and whatnot, that's right when they fucking banned me. Like, I have this another video, maybe I'll release it somewhere else, but my next video was straight up like, it was gonna be like a 10-part like series on like, you know, from the ground up how to get into like the stock market and stuff like that, but which is obviously something that like I like to enjoy a lot. But yeah, dude, got banned. That video's never coming out on YouTube, at least. Podcast does sound pretty cool, so Spotify is definitely a pretty good option. I think I'm better around like a video format, or like I don't know, you know, it takes a certain like skill set to get into streaming. I think that if I really put some time in, I could make a pretty solid stream, but there's a huge difference between this and YouTube, you know? This is just talking. The YouTube stuff, you usually have like an idea, and even though you can make your video however you want, usually it's in one direction. Streaming, it's like, dude, you just go into the woods. You have no idea. You can't even prepare for shit because you're mostly just like interacting with chat for the most part. So, use Storyfire? That's the plan. I have like 3 videos that I've finished that were gonna go up on YouTube, but yeah. I'm planning on making 2-minute shitposts on Twitter, like almost on a regular basis whenever I feel like just complaining about stuff. And again, like the whole thing is like I would just like promote Always Lucky at the end of it since there's no ads. But I think I'll re-upload those on Storyfire and also BitChute. But I need to make accounts on both those. I have an account on Storyfire, but it's so weird after getting banned. You know how many emails I've gotten with just like random people saying stuff like, oh, you should show up on this random platform. And even though I kind of like the idea of just like posting on all of them, and I think that if every YouTuber did that, it would make it so YouTube would actually be less lame with their terms of service and how strict they are, I still think that it's like no one wants to be the guy just promoting another, you know, platform for free. You know what I mean? Especially because they should be getting paid if they're like, you know, you get the idea. I know that Kim was kind of telling me this behind the scenes, but he was saying stuff like on the lines of like, oh, you know, your channel ban kind of marks the death of like a certain type of comedy on YouTube, which was, you know, very edgy. And I understand where he's coming from. I think that I wouldn't want to say that like publicly because I think it's very overdramatic and kind of cringe, but damn, it's like everyone that made edgy videos, we're like, they've all changed, and maybe everyone's just, you know, grown up a little bit. I'm not sure. I don't think it's necessarily growing up though. I think it's more, I think the internet's changing. It's not the Wild West anymore. I hate people that like try to act like, you know, there's a certain maturity with each age. Dude, there's some people that I know that are like in their 30s that are some of the most toxic people I know, and they act like, you know, stereotypically children, but they're worth a lot of money and they're not an idiot, so, you know, it's kind of fucking bizarre to be like he's acting like he's 15, you know what I mean? It kind of reminds me of like the big brain versus little brain shit. Oh, I'm super fucking mature. No, I'm actually not talking about Keem. I'm talking, they're very similar though. I think back to like Martin Shkreli and shit like that. Man, he was fucking going off the walls. You could say that he was acting like a 12-year-old, but the dude's insanely successful, so it's kind of weird to be like, you know, he's that or this. It kind of just seems like, it just seems weak, bro.
I called him out on Twitter, like Team YouTube. I was like, look, yeah, he got 3 strikes, but you gave him the 3 strikes all at once. Like, the whole point of the 3-strike system is you give someone a strike so they have like a warning to change their behavior. Like, you didn't do that in Leafy's case. You gave him all 3 at once so his channel would go down. That's bullshit. That's just not
It's just so fucking lame, dude. Like, on so many levels.
It's almost like there's like someone out there that really doesn't like you, that's friends with.
Can you imagine if
the
that's actually the
CEO.
case? And he, like, because I know that everyone says it memeing, but, like, man, that would be fucking...
But it's like that, right? It really does feel
Love.
like that. It feels like they were like, okay, let's give him all 3 strikes at once so his channel goes down. I mean, people don't understand the historical precedent that has been set. Leafy is Here, channel going down, is the biggest YouTube channel in the history of YouTube.com to be terminated permanently, right? In order for that to happen, and the way it happened is so similar to Dr. Disrespect being banned, right? Because you don't know. They said bullying and harassment based on what? What videos? What's the evidence? Like, dude, I'll tell you this much. There have been people that have been banned off of YouTube that sued YouTube and got their channels back.
Are you saying that I should sue YouTube?
I'm not saying that because I feel like YouTube would have a case to be like, you deserve to be banned. But what I'm saying is people have done that before.
Bro.
In my opinion, I think Pokimane is working on a deal with YouTube because maybe that's why you got banned, is because she's working. Here's the deal. Pokimane's good friend, Ray, or Valkyrie, right? She has a exclusive YouTube deal, gets paid a shit ton of money to stream only on YouTube. And so they're best friends. And I think Pokimane may have got a stream deal in the works with YouTube. And that's when they saw this hate against Pokimane. They were like, okay, well, this hate's not going to stop. This guy's made 20 videos. We're going to shut him down. Like, I think that may be, I mean, that's, look, if we get an announcement, everyone in the stream listening right now, that Pokimane has signed an exclusive deal to stream only on YouTube, just remember who told you that first. Keemstar. And I don't know anything. I'm guessing. I'm just literally just guessing on basically everything I've heard and seen. But yeah, I really think she is working on a YouTube exclusive deal.
Keemstar tweets out, funeral service for Leafy, August 27th, 5 p.m. EST, at Drama Alert. If you plan on attending, please retweet. We need to know how much potato salad to make. Leo responds, I have to walk my fish at that time. Keemstar responds, okay. And then fast forward to that time, someone named Poop asks Keemstar about the Leafy funeral, and Keemstar says, nope, not happening. He came back to life on Storyfire. So unfortunately, what Keemstar had planned for Drama Alert never came to fruition, but what did come to fruition is Keemstar's promise to have Leafy on his podcast Mom's Basement to talk about his ban. Here is what he said.
Why do you think, if you had to really guess, like, why do you think he went down? Was it the Pokimane videos, or was it the person that I won't name?
YouTube's a cuck. That's it.
Well, they give you a sentence, right? They cite it as like bullying and harassment.
YouTube's just a shitty platform, bro. There's nothing much else needs to be said about it. Part of me kind of just wants to quit on this because, I don't know, like, I've quit in the past, like, multiple times, and it's definitely not the worst way to go, like, getting banned. And I kind of, like, dunked on, like, all the haters at the very end, too. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's the worst way to go.
He posted a Twitter video the other day, right, after he got banned, showing the internet that he made $4 million off of YouTube with a $60 mic.
Yeah, it was a pretty, like, sick dunk after, like, because after I got banned, there were so many people shit-talking, so... Again, it's not the worst way to go. How else is there, how else do you quit?
Leafy, how do you feel about that, right? Like, when your channel was up and running, like, you didn't get that much criticism. I know, like, XQC and Destiny and maybe a few others, like, these are Twitch streamers, right? They came out and they said something, like, negative against you when you made the Pokimane video, right? But when you got actually terminated, there were so many people coming out of the woodwork to celebrate it, and it's like, it comes across like so fake.
Pussies, bro.
Yeah, why weren't you saying that when he had a channel? It's so ridiculous. I mean, the guy that I won't name, but you can name all you want, I mean, he's chirping, but he didn't say anything for 140 days?
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. They're talking about H3, and this is the craziest. This is where I'm like, it's just unbelievable to me. And I'm gonna assume that you were banned and completely removed off of YouTube for your Pokimane videos. And now I'll say with full confidence that I don't think your Pokimane videos were crazy like harassment. I watched all of them. It was all just bullshit. Like you're just a troll and like
It's actually going after. The thumbnails were pretty bad though.
I don't think one time you attacked her appearance or anything that she believes in or anything like that. It was more so just like trolling and like just honestly giving real criticism on how she has handled criticism and has handled your situation, whatever.
Well, see, if I had to guess, it would be the Ethan Klein video, the H3H3 video he made, which was his last one, most recent.
Well, that's even more egregious because what I was getting at was the fact that H3 can now speak on you, talk about you, like at least when you've spoken about people and quote unquote harass people, you're speaking on people who have a platform and have every opportunity in the world to respond, to contradict what you're saying, to like make their own points. And now you are absolutely silenced. You can't even go on a third party channel and respond. You can't, you know what I mean? That's insane. It's actually fucking crazy. YouTube is absolute garbage.
Dude, the 3 times this guy's shit talked to me, right? First time is when the Tommy NC shit happened, right? I'm public enemy number 1. Makes sense, right? Second time, he buries the hatchet with me. He like comes out after we had the beef and the first time. Says like, hey man, I'm gonna remove my video. The video was made just out of greed. He takes down the video, even makes a video saying why he removed the video. 4 months later, he shows up in the iDubbbz video, right? iDubbbz can make a video on me, but he just shows up just being there. Super toxic, whatever, man, right? So that happens. And then the third time is after I get banned. Bro, he's a fucking coward. There's really no other way of saying it.
I can understand why that's your position. It would obviously bother the fuck out of me, too.
No, he can do whatever he wants. It's up to him, but that's my stance on it.
I think the fact that so many people are celebrating it, like literally like half of Twitter I saw, pretty much 50% of people, they're kind of celebrating it, and I think that's just fucked. Like, how can you celebrate that? Because
They don't like me, that's fair, but like the fact that they're so pro-censorship is pretty funny.
Yeah, and especially it's just based on people they don't like. Same exact situation with someone they do like. It's just going to be a double standard completely.
The funny thing is, like, dude, my old videos were so much more crude, right? Maybe my videos now are like was since they all got banned, like Terminator, whatever the fuck. I don't like they may have been more toxic, but like on the surface level, my old videos were so much worse. It was just me picking like some random dude with like 10 subscribers and going after him. But my newest videos, I don't know. I don't think I crossed the line, in my opinion, but obviously that's, debatable. I definitely was close to the line, right?
You're hitting the recent points that the recent changes and updates they've made to their terms of service. So you've got
that is a good point. There have been like new policy
They literally
changes.
recently added that fucking line about calling people, making fun of the way people look and shit. By the way, I don't think Ela looks like a fucking horse at all. I think it's
well, I didn't like go after her. Like I don't know. I don't think it was that bad. I think there's definitely worse. But again, this is like. I took a break for like multiple years, so like my view on the policies is obviously really outdated and whatnot. I know they've changed stuff and whatnot.
I don't see a problem in calling saying someone looks like a fucking animal. It's just an animal. There's worse things to be called than a fucking horse. But yeah, I don't actually think she does look like a horse personally, but yeah. I think it's a stupid rule.
Like, I would make jokes about Pokimane. Like, there was some guy that was like, someone needs to kill Pokimane, right? And I responded to it like HDR recon scope, right? But the reason why is because the guy had fucking Ghost from Call of Duty as his profile picture. I looked at the dude's like Twitter. He's like tweeting out like kill feeds and shit like that, right? Like Call of Duty montages. It was obviously a joke about Call of Duty. Everyone knows this, but his account got like fucking suspended, and now my channel's being suspended. Maybe that's why I got banned. Who knows? I know that like the H3H.
I'm not surprised he got banned.
Yeah.
I wouldn't personally cross that line, and I think that like there has to be a line somewhere.
Well, I wasn't the one saying that Pokimane should be killed, but like I know what you mean. But like,
yeah.
Even then, like I don't know. Maybe that's why I got banned.
A lot more was said in that podcast, but if you want to see the full thing, the link will be in the description below. So Leafy got banned, and H3 made this pretty funny reaction tweet to it by saying, I would love to see Leafy try and exist in today's current landscape. The reason why that is funny is because ever since Leafy came back from his long hiatus up until his ban, he has ended every single YouTube video with the clip of Ethan saying, I would love to see Leafy try and exist in today's current landscape. In a sarcastic, condescending way, and then the fact that Leafy couldn't exist in today's current landscape, and Ethan was finally able to clap back with that comment in regards to the ban, is pretty funny. What isn't funny is what he said after this tweet. But in order to get to that, we'll have to go to before this tweet was made. Actually, before Leafy was banned at all. It all started on the first episode of Ethan's new podcast, called H3 After Dark, when he had some stuff to say in regards to the aftermath of his feud with Keemstar that happened last May. Here is what he said.
I love and appreciate the member support. It's so helpful at this time when we're losing pretty much, I mean, we've probably lost like 80% of our sponsors.
Keemstar responds to this by saying, this man tried his hardest to get me cancelled, lose my sponsors, and deplatformed. Yes, I lost G Fuel, but I've made 4 different companies since strong equity deals too, and my viewership is at an all-time high. Now his social blade is dead. Nicholas Diorio tweets out, H3H3 claims he lost 80% of his sponsors after starting a sponsor war in June. He is a finalist of the Playing Stupid Games event, which would award him with the coveted Stupid Prize. Keemstar then tweets out, Keemstar wins at Uno, showing the content nuke video, Uno reverse card, H3 losing 80% of his sponsors, and then Keemstar saying, I win. And now we go back to this tweet where he responds to Slasher by saying, I would love to see Leafy try and exist in today's current landscape. The Quartering reacts to this by saying, it's awesome the man who once campaigned for fair use now celebrates deplatforming. Ricky Berwick responds to Ethan by saying this.
Oh, he said the line! He said it!
Brittany Venti responds to Ethan by saying, celebrating censorship when it suits you, huh? Don't fight with H3, or he might ask Mommy Susan to ban you. Turkey Tom responds to Ethan with a picture of this very defeated looking man. Unproductive response to H3 by saying, when I remember I used to be a Leafy fan back in 2016, showing a picture of a guy putting a gun in his mouth. Muhammad responds to H3 by saying, we know who did it, showing the infamous picture of Ethan, Susan, and Ela. Usama responds to Ethan by saying, you were really hiding when he did put out bangers, but now you are out of the cave once he's terminated. Kali Troll responds to Ethan by saying, you on the phone to Susan Wojcicki, getting Leafy banned. Rev says, man, you fell off. Whack. Portillo Moment responds to Ethan by saying, this you? Showing the moment when he said he lost 80% of his sponsors. Restless Mofo responds to Ethan by saying, Leafy being himself for 4 months knowing the consequences is more interesting than anything you ever did or will do with that podcast. Emma responds to Ethan by saying, how long have you been waiting to say this again? DHGR responds to her by saying, Emma, leave this comment section. It's gonna get dirty, and we also don't want to hate you for hating Leafy. Emma responds, I just asked a question? Didn't say anything about hating anyone. Mars then responds to her by saying, Leafy fans are red-pilled incels. Don't worry about it. They all cap. Floyd Rose responds to H3 by saying, gloating over the misfortune of others. Real classy, Ethan. Scrubby quote tweets Ethan and says, the end of Leafy's last video had an H3H3 animation. Speaking of that animation, it was actually made by one of Leafy's infamous topics from back in the day, Mr. Black Darkness 666. I'm playing a bit of it on screen right now to get you an idea of what it was like, but if you want to see the full thing, the link will be in the cards up above. H3 continues tweeting about the situation when he once again shows the picture of him and Susan Wojcicki. Luce responds to Ethan by saying, so Susan, can you ban Leafy? And then Luce follows this up by saying ouch and showing that Ethan blocked him. So Ethan played into the meme of him calling up Susan by posting the picture of him and Susan, and then blocks people for playing into the meme that he just posted. Alright then, I guess maybe he posted that to get all the detractors out of the woodwork so he could block them? I'm not too sure. Anyways, moving on. Mersh responds to him by saying, same energy, showing all of the world leaders touching a glowing globe. Jay Aubrey responds to Ethan by saying, you bold for this one, man. Augie responds, AIDS, lol. Edwin's Generation quote tweets him and says, Leafy gets banned and shortly after Ethan posts this. But he wonders why people conspire about his ties with YouTube and doing favors for him, unless he could have actually? Internet Unwound responds to Ethan by saying, and so the conspiracy will continue, lol. How long before the first video goes up saying this is proof? Laughing my ass off. Mudahar responds with the same image but having a Brazzers logo instead. Nicholas Diorio shows Ethan's response to Leafy's ban next to Pokemon's response to Leafy's ban, and captions it by saying, this is the visual representation of why people always think Ethan is guilty when there is literally no way he did this, lol. And then, after blatantly saying that Ethan isn't responsible for this, Nick gets blocked by Ethan. He tweets this out and says, I didn't even tweet at him, lol. He's reading my fucking timeline, laughing my ass off. My only tweets about him today have been defending that he didn't do this, lol. AuggyRFC then shows that he's also blocked and says, holy shit, laughing my fucking ass off. Me and Nick got blocked. All I said was AIDS in a reply, and Nick didn't even reply. He's watching, lol. Turkey Tom then shows that he's also blocked, and Gamer from Mars also gets blocked. He says, didn't even say anything to him. He unfollowed and blocked me for sticking up for free speech. I'm not gonna lie, getting blocked by Ethan Klein hurt, since I looked up to him for so long. But now it's clear the only reason he followed/talked to me was that he hoped I'd turn on Keemstar and friends for his own benefit. Me standing up for free speech showed that wouldn't happen. Review Tech USA quotes Gamer from Mars and says, Ethan is only an opportunist. He's always been that way. Nicholas Diorio then tweets out, lol, this dude, showing that he liked a tweet from Comment Cop that showed a hypocritical statement of Nick's, right after blocking him. And then I go to check Ethan's account myself and find out that I'm blocked. And coincidentally, it happened only a couple minutes after I DM'd Ethan, saying that I liked his tweet, where he said I would love to see Leafy exist in the landscape today, but I also commented in the same message that I didn't like that Leafy was banned. Nick shows this and says, Boblax complimented and then got blocked for it. Lol. Yeah, that was pretty weird, man. It seems really weird to block over that, but Keemstar ended up having his own theories on why Ethan blocked us. He tweets out, at Gamer from Mars, you were blocked because you were friendly with me and refused to push Ethan's narrative that Basher was innocent. Boblax, you were blocked because you tweeted the clip of him losing 80% of his sponsors. Nick Diorio, you were blocked because you helped me edit my Burger King video today. But anyways, moving on, a couple people had some comments on this mass block. BWC reacts to it by saying, so the Kleins are at it again, huh? Leafy is a cunt, but like that's the point of Leafy. Pretty bad to see someone removed because of that. Maw says, Ethan Klein is a fucking pussy ass bitch. Laughing my ass off. What a nutless shrimp. Brittany Venti says, Leafy gets censored and banned from YouTube. Everybody suspects H3H3. H3H3 proceeds to celebrate on Twitter. H3H3 proceeds to block the entire commentary community on Twitter. Considering the circumstance, it's seeming more and more like he did his dirt and then ran. Tommy C says, why does H3H3 celebrate Leafy's deplatforming? Because he does not have the clout capital to cancel anyone himself anymore. The Keemstar cancellation was a total failure at his expense in the long run, not Keem's. He'll take any win he can at this point. After Ethan's blocking spree, he continues to talk about Leafy when he tweets out, Leafy had the best commentary, showing that someone named Apex responded to Leafy's tweet by saying, someone needs to kill Pokimane. And then Leafy responded by saying, HDR recon scope. Apex responds with a picture of an airsoft gun and says, I'd use the OG. Muhammad responds to H3 with this meme image saying, I did it. I terminated Leafy's channel. Ollie responds to H3 by saying, the edgiest of children flock to his channel like flies to shit. Mark After Dark quote tweets Ethan and says, that's an airsoft gun. Nope. Putting this under real actual threats. Roasted Curry responds to H3 by saying, I love how everybody is like, YouTube is a private company, they can do whatever they want. Then when something happens on YouTube, bitches be like, this is so unfair. Y'all like censorship when only it's in your favor. Ms. Man the Frying Pan responds to him by saying, censoring comment, criticism, and or jokes regarding sensitive topics equals not okay. Censoring someone who uses his channel solely as a platform to bully others and incite this sort of shit from fans equals disappear. Bosch responds to H3 by saying, wow, Leafy got banned? Shocker. Oh no! Anyway, Woke Reese-Moore responds to Ethan by saying, bruh, I'm not for deplatforming, but Leafy deserved it 100%. Testicles responds to him by saying, nah, hate him or not, I don't think people gotta lose their livelihood for saying stuff online. Woke responds by saying, I mean, if your livelihood is based on bullying people, then you are doing something wrong in my opinion. Ethan then continues to tweet about this when he posts a clip from Keemstar's Storyfire video with Leafy and captions it by saying,